Hey there, welcome to Yoga with Rachel. I'm Rachel, and today we have a somatic yoga practice for calm and joy. This practice is a combination of calming and grounding postures, as well as movements that are energizing and playful. The intention behind this practice is to help us build nervous system resiliency as we flow between both calming and energizing states. As with all of our practices, the invitation is to listen to your body and honor what your body needs as you move through this practice. In relation to props, feel free to bring a blanket, a pillow, and/or bolster to your space. With that said, these props are optional. All that you truly need is your wonderful, beautiful self. All right, without further ado, let's begin. I invite you to join me on the mat, and when you're ready, we'll begin our practice in extended child's pose. I invite you to slowly make your way to all fours. Once you are there, bring your big toes together and gently walk your knees toward the long edges of your mat, exploring a width that feels comfortable. As you melt your hips back towards your heels, you might choose to place a pillow or a bolster between your inner thighs to rest your upper body on. Or perhaps softly place a blanket around your shoulders, offering warmth and comfort. When you feel ready, I invite you to gently walk your hands forward, letting your upper body release closer toward the earth or your prop. Take a loving breath in through your nose. As you breathe out, softly rest your forehead on the earth or on stacked hands. If you are using a prop, kindly turn your head to one side and rest the side of your face on your item. And if these options don't feel right for you, no worries. You can explore a variation of this shape, lying on your back, hugging your knees toward your chest, or you might prefer to rest in a seated position. Once you've settled in, I invite you to take a gentle sip of air through your nose. And as you breathe out, either soften your focus or close your eyes. An invitation to bring your awareness to your breath, observing the natural flow of your breath without changing it, simply allowing it to be exactly as it is. If you're resting on a pillow or a bolster, gently lift your upper body just enough to turn your head to the other side, then softly rest back onto your prop. As you breathe in and out, notice where you feel the movement. Perhaps in your shoulders, chest, rib cage, abdomen, or along your back. I invite you to continue following the natural ebb and flow of your breath. Let's take a loving breath in together and softly release the breath through your mouth. Lovely. If you are resting on a prop, kindly press into your palms as you lift up. You might take a moment to stretch. And if you are working without a prop, you might reach your arms toward the top edge of your mat, stretching like a cat or a dog waking up from a nap, gently reawakening the body. When you feel ready, I invite you to find stillness. If you're still in extended child's pose, take your time as you rise up. And together, we will make our way into a comfortable seat. You might choose to sit on a pillow or a folded blanket. You're also welcome to continue wearing your blanket like a cape, or you can rest it over your legs for warmth and grounding. In your own time, bring your palms together and begin rubbing your hands together at a pace that feels right for you. Observe the sensations between your palms as you breathe in and out. Once you've cultivated warmth between your palms, kindly place your palms on your heart space. With each breath, take a moment to notice any sensations that may be calling for your attention. I invite you to place your hands just below your collarbones and then press softly in toward your chest and then down slightly, applying soft and mindful pressure. As you maintain this connection, begin to draw slow, small circles with your nose, exploring some gentle movement in your neck. You might also explore relaxing your shoulders down slightly, creating some space. Feel free to reverse the direction of your circle when it feels good. Beautiful. In your own time, settle into stillness, aligning your head over your heart, and then softly release your hands to your thighs. Take a nourishing breath in here and breathe out. As you breathe in, gently lift your shoulders toward your ears. On your exhale, soften your shoulders, letting them glide slightly back and down, melting away from your ears. I invite you to continue this movement a few more times on your own, flowing with your breath and noticing any sensations that might arise. Beautiful. When you feel ready, allow yourself to settle into stillness, letting your breath flow naturally. I invite you to bring your left foot in toward your body, and then gently place your right foot in front of your left. On your next breath in, take up space as you slowly reach your hands toward the sky. On your breath out, begin to fold forward, gently wiggling your fingers toward the earth, letting your fingers softly land in front of your legs. You might choose to stay lifted, or if it feels good, you can walk your fingertips forward, exploring a range of motion that feels nourishing. You can explore folding inward, letting the weight of your head release gently. You might find a soft sway from side to side, or explore some spinal waves as you invite your lower body to ground down. You're more than welcome to stay here, or you can gently walk your hands toward the left side of your mat as you send your breath into sensation and find what feels good here. And then when you feel ready, you can walk your hands to the right, exploring a range of motion that feels supportive and any movement that would feel nourishing. Beautiful. I invite you to walk your fingers back toward center, and then mindfully walk your hands back toward your body, so that way you're in an upright position. In your own time, please hug your right foot in and allow your left foot to gently sit in front of your right foot. On your next inhalation, reach your hands overhead, spreading your fingers nice and wide. And on your exhalation, playfully wiggle your fingers as you release your hands to the earth. The invitation is to listen to your body and explore what feels right for you. That might be walking your hands forward, releasing a little more into the shape. You can also play around with turning your palms upward, observing how this gesture might change the experience of this shape. You're welcome to explore walking your hands toward the right for a few cycles of breath. And in your own time, you might walk your fingers over toward the left, exploring what feels good here. Take another sweet cycle of breath here. And when you feel ready, kindly make your way back through center and then slowly rise up. I invite you to pause here, noticing how you feel. When you are ready, please cross at your ankles, finding a cross-legged seat. In your own time, I invite you to explore a few seated cat-cows. With each inhalation, gently expand and open your heart. And with each exhalation, soften and round through your spine. Allow yourself to flow with the rhythm of your breath, moving at a pace that feels right for you. In your own time, please settle into stillness, gently finding a neutral spine. I invite you to place your fingertips on your shoulders while maintaining a soft awareness between your shoulders and ears. On your next breath in, gently turn your upper body toward the right, staying within a range of motion that feels nourishing. And on your next breath out, return to center and explore a gentle twist to the left. I invite you to continue this movement, gently exploring a spinal rotation from side to side, syncing your breath with the movement. Explore a pace that feels right for you. You might prefer to keep it slow and relaxed, or you may begin to gradually pick up the tempo to stir some energy and internal heat. In your own time, gradually settle into stillness. As you release your hands toward your thighs, you might choose to gently shake your arms and your hands, or perhaps you flick your fingers, imagining that they're like fireworks as you release your hands down. When your hands settle on your thighs, take a moment to notice any sensations that may be surfacing. Is there a thought, an emotion, an image, or a belief attached to these sensations? When you feel ready, I invite you to place your hands on the earth by your hips as you bring your legs out in front of you, resting the soles of your feet on the ground, a little wider than hip width apart. In your own time, allow your knees to gently fall to one side, letting the rest of your body follow naturally, perhaps lifting your hip away from the earth. Then bring your knees back through center before letting them melt to the other side. Another option is to send your legs out long, windshield wipering your feet in and out. I invite you to choose the option that feels right for you. Explore a range of motion that feels nourishing And you're welcome to pause at any time to send your breath into sensation. Wonderful. In your own time, kindly lift your knees through center and find your cross-legged seat. I invite you to interlace your fingers out in front and begin to create a wave-like motion with your hands, inviting this movement to naturally travel toward your wrists, observing how this movement flows toward your elbows and up toward your shoulders. You might keep your wave small or explore a larger expression of your wave. As you explore, a gentle reminder to reconnect with your precious breath. When you feel ready, please settle into stillness. With your fingers still interlaced, I invite you to press your palms forward and then send your hands toward the sky, exploring an upper body stretch. An invitation to lean into any intuitive movements or sounds here, honoring your body's natural expressions. When you feel ready, I invite you to gently release your hands to your sides before making your way to all fours. I welcome you to take your time during these transitional moments. Perhaps you observe which muscles activate as you move. And if you have any props on your mat, kindly place them to the side of your mat. Once you have found your tabletop position, I invite you to tuck your toes under and explore an engagement through your center by hugging your belly button toward your spine, creating length through the low back. Take a slow, nourishing breath in here. And as you breathe out, explore lifting your knees and your shins away from the earth for a moment, creating a little internal heat, and then lower. Before we explore this hovering table again, observe your hand-to-earth connection. You might explore spreading your fingers and gently pressing away from the earth. And when you feel ready, explore lifting your knees and your shins away from the ground. You might feel like getting a little playful here, perhaps wiggling your hips from side to side, pedaling your feet, or exploring some intuitive movement. Take a breath in through your nose, and as you release your breath, softly release your knees to the earth. I invite you to uncurl your toes and explore a soft bend in your elbows as you begin to draw mindful circles with your torso. You might find the visual of your upper body moving like a jump rope helpful. If it feels good, I encourage you to close your eyes, inviting an inward focus. Perhaps you bring your awareness to how your spine, rib cage, and head move through space. You might invite a deeper breath, and you're more than welcome to reverse the direction of your circle at any point. Lovely. I invite you into some organic movement. Listen to your body's signals, allowing the sensations to guide you toward movements that feel nourishing and supportive in each moment. When this feels complete, kindly settle into stillness. In this moment of pause, observe any sensations that might be surfacing for you with a soft and curious awareness to what is. In your own time, kindly lower yourself onto your belly with your legs extended. I invite you to bend at your elbows and stack your hands near the top of your mat, creating a soft pillow with your hands for your forehead to rest on. As you're here, the invitation is to close your eyes as you connect with the natural flow of your breath. Explore observing your breath without changing it. Sense which parts of your body naturally expand with each inhalation and which parts soften with every exhalation. Maybe you explore deepening your breath and notice what sensations may be present for you now. You're welcome to stay here, or you might decide to bend at your knees so that the soles of your feet point upward. And then you might begin to sway your feet from left to right, keeping this movement small, feeling both hip points resting gently on the ground. I invite you to notice what sensations you feel. Maybe it's a gentle pressure against your quads. Perhaps you feel the air softly meeting your feet. Or maybe it's a color, an image, or an emotion surfacing. Lovely. When this exploration feels complete, kindly settle into stillness as you lower your feet back down to the ground. Take a loving breath in and a loving breath out. When you feel ready, please lift your head away from your hands And place your hands roughly under your shoulders. I invite you to tuck your toes under, hug your belly button in toward your spine as you slowly press up to all fours. Once you have arrived, I welcome you to make your way to a seated position. With your hands resting gently on the earth for support, stretch your legs out long, leaving a little space between them. You can play around by gently swaying your feet from side to side, like windshield wipers, letting that movement travel through your body. Or you might like to softly bounce the backs of your legs against the ground. I invite you to notice what sensations may be present for you here, and the invitation is to welcome them with curiosity. When you feel ready, gradually settle into stillness. In this quiet moment, I invite you to reconnect with your breath, letting the vibrations of the movement gently settle as you breathe in and out. In your own time, I invite you to bend at your knees and then slowly ease your back body down onto the earth. I invite you to notice the sensation of the earth beneath you, supporting and holding you here as it gently rises up to meet you with warmth and care. In a moment, we'll explore a shake and release practice together. Listen to your body as you move, honoring whatever sensations arise. During your explorations, I invite you to find a pace and a rhythm that feels right for you, and you're welcome to pause whenever needed. If you feel the urge to hum, smile, laugh, or sigh, the invitation is to let it happen naturally. Now I invite you to gently draw your knees in towards your chest, stacking your knees so that way they are roughly in line with your hips. When you're ready, extend your arms toward the sky, reaching through your fingertips with a soft bend in your elbows. Take a nourishing breath in through your nose and release your breath through your mouth. In your own time, begin to flutter your legs and shake your arms and hands. You can start slow, allowing your body to ease into the movement, and then gradually pick up the pace if that feels right. Shake and release, let go of anything that is no longer serving you. Once again, you can laugh, you can smile, you can let out a sigh, you can hum. We are here for a few more moments. You got this. Lovely. Gradually slow down the movement. And when you find stillness, let your feet and arms gently soften, releasing them to the earth. I invite you to notice what sensations might be present as you reconnect with your breath. For our final resting posture, you have a couple of options that you can explore. You might decide to walk your feet toward the long edges of your mat, allowing your knees to gently fall toward one another and connect. This option can be very soothing for the pelvis and lower back. Or you might extend your legs out long, inviting your feet to move toward the long edges of your mat. You might decide to place a bolster or a pillow underneath the backs of your knees for extra support. Wherever you've settled, I invite you to softly rest your left hand on your heart space and gently place your right hand on your belly, inviting your upper arms to soften and relax onto the earth. I invite you to allow your breath to find its natural rhythm as you gently scan your body, starting from your head and slowly moving down to your toes, observing any sensations that may be present and allowing them the space to simply be without passing judgment. I invite you to take a loving sip of air through your nose, and on your breath out, explore a sound through your mouth. Twice more, just like that. Breathe in. Breathe in. Let something go. Beautiful. Invite your breath to settle into its natural rhythm. If it feels right, I invite you to gently tap into an inner smile, or perhaps lift the corners of your mouth slightly as a loving gesture to honor the calm and joyful energy you've nurtured during your practice today. All right, we will close here today. Feel free to remain in your resting posture for as long as it feels good, allowing the nutrients of your practice to seep into your being. When you're ready to transition out, you might explore a full body stretch before slowly moving into a fetal position and then to a seat. Thank you so much for choosing to be here. My hope is that this practice has brought you calm, peace, and joy, offering you a nurturing space to connect with your inner world in a loving and compassionate way, sending you warmth and care. We close our practice with a heartfelt thank you or namaste.